Well, didn't expect to be doing a video today, but I was tagged by Joe Swagman, or Swagman, I think is how you pronounce it, which I think is the name. I don't know if his last name is a reference to that, if that's his real name, or that's or he just took the name from an old song. I think it's a name of a song. I met a Swagman, a jolly jolly Swagman, something like that. But yeah, I was tagged by Joel Swagman in a Read Smart tag. So yeah, let's do this. Once I've been in a tag. So, what is your strategy to stay focused and engaged while reading? Well, this is pretty easy. My brother and I have the ability to read multiple things at the same time. If you look at the tag for my Read Smart thing, that's currently all the books that I'm reading. Some of them I'm not reading at the same time, some I am. You'll notice that there's a combination of different books. But usually when I'm reading, I tend to, what I can read by myself, I like to have smooth jazz playing in the background when I'm reading. Sometimes if it's comics, I'll read like whatever kind of music is playing in the background. Usually I like to have some sort of background music playing in the background if I can help it. It usually helps when I'm focusing. 2, how did your environment influence focus, what you can do to optimize? I can usually read multiple places as long as I'm able to stand still. It makes it easier, but I have been able to read like in cars and sometimes moving. Sometimes it's not always easy, but yeah, sometimes I can read while moving. 3, what methods do you use to retain and recall information and from what you have read? Usually it's relatively easy. I can recall certain scenes relatively easy from the books or comics. If something strikes me, then I'll focus on that. Like when I read comic collections, if I find a certain issue, I'll sometimes do a separate review just on that issue. So usually it's not a problem with me. 4, how do you approach difficult or challenging material? I think the most challenging thing I read was way back when I read the Da Vinci Code. I haven't really read anything that challenging. Right now I'm reading a history of the territories, and that's taken me quite a while. And it's not because the subject bores me. It's because right now a lot of the stuff in the book right now is just dates and times and shows. It's 1971 through 73. I'm still in 1971, so it's just being methodical and going through it. So I just take it one step at a time and just go through it. Hopefully at some point I'll get that finished, but I don't think I'll end up buying the next couple volumes of that book. Not because it's not something that interests me. I think I enjoy the podcast more than I enjoy the actual books themselves. While I was doing wrestling history, I think I prefer like biographies about wrestlers than just stuff about the territories themselves. 5, what role does note-taking play in your reading process? Not as much. I do note-taking sometimes, but not really. That's not really a major factor. 6, how do you balance reading for pleasure or professional development? Well, I'm out of school now, so I don't really read a lot for personal development now as much as I used to. Mainly it's just the pleasure nowadays, and then random stuff from YouTube here and there. So it's mainly personal. It's mainly for pleasure. Though recently I've started reading the Donald Duck stuff and listening to the podcasts, Rosa and Barks and Marks, and I think that's really been more of a professional thing, just really learning more about the creators of these comics, just for my own development. What is the importance of setting reading goals? I think that actually is important, but I don't think you have to have these big goals. For the Goosebumps book I'm reading, I set myself a goal last time was just to get to chapter 20, just because how short the chapters are. And I met that goal, but I kept reading. So you don't need to have big goals. I think you can sometimes just set little goals, like I'm going to get to chapter such and such, or page such and such. You don't need to have big goals. I think little goals are fine. And what are some of your strategies for overcoming reading slumps and lack of motivation? You know, sometimes you just have to soldier through and keep trying, but if a book really doesn't interest you, just drop it. I've had to quit books here and there, but, you know, if it's something you're really interested in, just keep going. Not every read is going to be easy. Alright, that's all. I know I'm supposed to tag someone, but I don't really know a whole lot of people in the BookTube community. So I'm just going to tag everybody. I'll put the questions in the community page, and then if you guys want some better written ones, check out Joe Swagman's channel. He has them in the comments of his video. So until next time, this is the American Samurai saying, hope you enjoyed my answers to the Read Smart tag. So, just in case you're wondering, I'm tagging everybody. See you next time.